A far-right riot, race riot, erupts in the UK over a stabbing attack. I'm going to show you some video. Here it is.
Big Jake right there, big Jakey boy. Can't do nothing.
You tell us we're coming in to steal your jobs. You can't even get a job. Look at you. How about work on your health? How about stop the drugs? You're saying we're coming in to steal your jobs. You can't even get a job. You're all benefit dodgers.
I have more video. In one encounter, a black male is attacked and the police decide to detain the black male. Here it is. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. So sad, let's put it at full mass. I will give you the background as to what you saw. Per CNN and The Independent, far-right rioters set fire and broke into hotels used to shelter asylum seekers in northern England Sunday, as the country grapples with the worst social unrest it has seen since the riots of 2011. At least 400 people have been arrested after far-right riots rocked Liverpool, Bristol, Manchester, Hull, Belfast, Stoke, and other cities across UK over the weekend. The violence was triggered by the stabbing of 3 young girls in Southport, Northwest England, earlier last week. Left to right, you have 9-year-old Alice De Silva Aguar, 6-year-old Baby King, 7-year-old Elsie Dote Stancombe. The far right has seized on and spread a wave of disinformation, including false claims the attacker was an immigrant, to mobilize anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant protesters. That sound familiar to you? You see, we had a strategy like that in this country as well. Got a young black man killed. The girls were stabbed to death while attending a Taylor Swift-themed dance class. One of the worst assaults against children in the country in decades. 8 other children suffered stab wounds in the attack, and 5 of them are now in critical condition. Such a sad, sad story. 2 adults also remain in critical condition after being injured in the attack. Police say the 17-year-old suspect, Axel Ruda Cubana, was born in Britain and a resident from the nearby village of Banks. He is also allegedly a Christian and not even Muslim. The teenager has been charged with 3 counts of murder and 10 counts of attempted murder, as well as a possession of a bladed article. Pictured is an older photo and recent court sketch. Footage showed rioters on Sunday vandalizing and setting ablaze 2 Holiday Inns in northern England. one in Tamworth, which had previously been criticized by a local politician for housing asylum seekers, and another in Rotherham. In Tamworth, protesters threw projectiles, smashed windows, and started fires, injuring one police officer, according to local authorities. Meanwhile, in Rotherham, protesters threw wooden planks, used fire extinguishers against officers, set fire to objects near the hotel, and smashed windows to gain entry to the building, police said. The hotel at the time was, quote, full of terrified residents and staff. That's according to a statement by the Assistant Chief Constable, Lindsay Butterfield. British Prime Minister, put him up. Starmer has condemned the weekend's violent protest, warning those involved in violence will face the full force of the law or the violent scenes. Starmer described gangs' intent on law breaking and emphasized that violent rioters do not represent our country. The Prime Minister said from Downing Street, quote, people in this country have a right to be safe, and yet we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is, far-right thuggery, end quote. The Prime Minister even establishing a standing army of specialist police officers to address further attacks after an emergency meeting in response to the far-right mob's racist attacks on the hotels. Speaking after the meeting, the Prime Minister said, quote, we will have a standing army of specialist public duty officers so that we will have enough officers to deal with this where we need them. The second is we will ramp up criminal justice. There have already been hundreds of arrests. Some have appeared in court this morning. I've asked for early consideration of the earliest naming, identification of those involved in the process who will feel the force of the law. Put her up. Already their response has been more significant than America's response after the January 6th terrorist attack. Pictured home security. Yvette Cooper, the UK's Home Office, also announced Sunday new emergency security measures for mosques. These measures allow the police, local authorities, and mosques to request rapid security deployment to protect communities and resume worship quickly. Cooper condemned the racially charged chaos, saying, quote, nobody should make any excuses for the shameful actions of the hooligans, thugs, and extremist groups who have been attacking police officers, looting local shops, or attacking people based on the color of their skin. Joe Mulhall, Director of Research at Hope Not Hate, the charity which campaigns against racism and fascism, has warned that the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has become the central space for the spreading of dangerous disinformation and the promotion of the protest. Speaking to CNN, Mulhall stated that the recent rise in racist attacks are driven by decentralized far-right networks, many operating on X. Key figures like Stephen Lennon, aka Tommy Robinson, previously banned, have regained access since Elon Musk took over, allowing them to spread dangerous disinformation and exacerbate tensions to millions. Robinson is an anti-Islam campaigner and one of the UK's most prominent far-right activists. They took a tragedy, a real tragedy, manipulated the tragedy narrative in order to fit their racist bias. Brother, I want to say I'm shocked, but we've done this here. It is repeating itself there. What say you?
And I feel like it's going to get worse. Never mind, racism has always existed. It continues to exist, but now you add in the gasoline of platforms like X that don't care about the truth, don't care about factual information, and essentially want everybody to have a voice, including people who want to spread misinformation and get people riled up. And as a result, it's not human nature to sort of take a pause and take a deep breath and sort of wait for the facts to come out. So many of us tend to act on our emotions. Well, when those emotions get stirred up because you read something online that goes to your own, confirms your own biases, then you get enraged. And that's what's happening in Great Britain. And I feel like, unfortunately, this is maybe where we're headed in this country, that if we don't have responsibility, at least in social media, at least among the media and various broadcast news, if there's not a responsibility to the truth, then everything gets turned upside down even faster.